Number 1, it is illegal for a person 21 years of age or older to drive with a blood alcohol concentration, BAC, that is blank or higher, 0.08%, 0.08%. Number 2, California's basic speed law says you must never drive faster than is safe for current conditions. Number 3, driving under the influence of any medication which impairs your driving is permitted under no circumstances. 4, you may drive a motor vehicle in a bike lane no more than 200 feet before making a right turn. Number 5, if your cell phone rings while you are driving and you do not have a hands-free device, you should let the call go to voicemail. Number 6, a solid yellow line next to a broken yellow line means that vehicles next to the broken line may pass. Number 7, you want to park uphill on a two-way road and there's no curb. Which direction do you turn your front wheels? Right toward the side of the road. Number 8, you're involved in a minor collision at an intersection. There are no injuries and there is very little vehicle damage. You should move your vehicle out of the traffic lane if possible. Number 9, smoking inside a vehicle with a person younger than 18 of age is illegal at all times. Number 10, if there is no crosswalk and you see a pedestrian crossing your lane, you should stop and let the pedestrian finish crossing. Number 11, you are driving on the freeway behind a large truck. You should drive farther behind the truck than you would if following a passenger vehicle. Number 12, you must yield to a pedestrian using a white cane or guide dog at all times. 13, to see vehicles in your blind spots, you should check over your shoulders. 14, you're on the freeway and traffic is merging into your lane. You should make room for the merging traffic if possible. 15, if a traffic signal light is not working, you must stop, then proceed when safe. 16, extra space in front of a large truck is needed for the truck driver to stop the vehicle. 17, when passing another vehicle, it is safe to return to your lane if you see the vehicle's headlights in your rear view mirror. 18, you consent to take a chemical test for the alcohol content of your blood, breath, or urine whenever you drive in California. 19, when driving at night on a dimly lit street, you should drive slowly enough that you can stop within the area illuminated by your headlights. 20, you're about to make a left turn. You must signal continuously during the blank feet before the turn. During the last 100 feet before the turn. 26, unless otherwise posted, the speed limit in a residential area is 25 miles per hour. 27, if you're involved in a traffic collision, you are required to complete and submit a written report to the DMV. If there is property damage in excess of $1,000 or if there are any injuries. 28, you may not park your vehicle next to a red painted curb. 29, 2 sets of solid double yellow lines that are 2 or more feet apart may not be crossed for any reason. 30, you are driving On a freeway with a posted speed limit of 65 miles per hour, traffic is traveling at 70 miles per hour. You may legally drive no faster than 65 miles per hour. 31. If you plan to pass another vehicle, you should not assume the other driver will make space for you to return to your lane. 32. A large truck is ahead of you and is turning right onto a street with 2 lanes in each direction. The truck may have to swing wide to complete the right turn. 33. Always stop before crossing railroad tracks when there isn't room on the other side for you to completely cross the tracks. 34. You should use your horn when it may help prevent a collision. 35. If you drive more slowly than the flow of traffic, you will most likely interfere with traffic and receive a ticket. 36. When changing lanes on a freeway, you should signal for at least 5 seconds. 37. Allow extra space in front of your vehicle when following a motorcycle. 38. You must show proof of insurance to law enforcement if you're involved in a collision or stopped for a citation. 39. If you drive 55 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour zone, you can be given a speeding ticket if the road or weather conditions require a slower speed. 40. It is legal to drive with an alcoholic beverage container that has been opened only if the container is in the trunk. 41. You want to turn left at an upcoming corner. Yield the right of way to all approaching vehicles. 42. There is a vehicle stopped on the right shoulder of the road with its hazard lights on. You should slow down and pass very carefully. 43. Before you change lanes, you should check your mirrors and glance over your shoulder. 44. You want to park downhill on a 2-way road and there is no curb. Which way do you turn your front wheels? Right toward the side of the road. 45. You want to pass a bicyclist in a narrow traffic lane. When an oncoming vehicle is approaching, you should slow down and let the vehicle pass you before you pass the bicyclist. 46. Always carefully look for motorcycles before you change lanes because their small size can make them hard to see. 47. Drivers must use their seatbelt, and failure to do so will result in a traffic ticket. 48. You should not start across an intersection if you know you will block the intersection when the light turns red, under any circumstances. 49. A pedestrian starts to cross the street after the don't walk signal begins to flash. The pedestrian is in the middle of the street when your signal light changes green. You should wait until the pedestrian crosses the street before proceeding. 50. A vehicle suddenly cuts in front of you, creating a hazard. What should you do first? Take your foot off the gas pedal. 51. A safety zone is a specially marked area for passengers to get on and off of buses or trolleys. You may not drive through a safety zone at any time for any reason. 52. A red arrow pointing to the right on a traffic light means you may not turn in that direction until the light turns green. 53. An orange and red triangle sign on a vehicle always means slow moving vehicle. 54. You must yield the right of way to an emergency vehicle that is using its siren and flashing lights by driving as closely to the right edge of the road as possible and stopping. 55. When a school bus is stopped on the road ahead to load or unload children, you must Come to a complete stop until the red lights stop flashing and the stop arm is withdrawn. 56. You must look for bicyclists in the same lanes used by motor vehicles because they are entitled to share the road with motor vehicles. 57. You may make a left turn on a red light only from a one-way street onto a one-way street. 58. When should you yield your legal right-of-way? Whenever it helps prevent accidents or collisions. Whenever it helps prevent collisions. 59. When may you legally drive around or under a railroad crossing gate? Never. 60. If you are convicted of driving with an excessive blood alcohol concentration, BAC, you may be sentenced to serve up to 6 months in jail. 61. There are 2 traffic lanes moving in your direction. You are driving in the left lane and many vehicles are passing you on the right. If the driver behind you wishes to drive faster, you should move into the right lane when it is safe. 62. While driving at night, a vehicle coming toward you has its high beams on, making it hard for you to see the road ahead. You should look ahead toward the right edge of your lane. 63. You should increase the distance between your vehicle and the vehicle ahead when you are being tailgated by another driver. 64. Check your rear view mirrors often to see how traffic is moving behind you. 65. At an uncontrolled intersection where you cannot see cross traffic until you are just about to enter the intersection, the speed limit is 15 miles per hour. 66. If your vehicle starts to lose traction because of water on the road, you should slow down gradually and not apply the brakes. 67. You are crossing an intersection and an emergency vehicle is approaching while using its siren and flashing lights. You should continue through the intersection, pull to the right, and stop. 68. A peace officer is signaling for you to drive to the edge of the roadway. You decide to ignore the officer's warning and flee the scene. You are guilty of a misdemeanor and can be punished by being jailed in the county jail for not more than 1 year. 69. The speed limit on a school zone where children are present is blank unless otherwise posted. 25 miles per hour. 70. It is illegal to leave a child age blank or younger alone in a vehicle. 6. 71. When approaching a roundabout, you should always decrease your speed. 72. When using a roundabout, drivers should yield to traffic already in the roundabout. 73. If you pass a school bus that is stopped with its red lights flashing, you will be fined up to $1,000. 74. Placard abuse will result in placard revocation, a fine and/or jail time. 75. Fines in a construction zone are doubled.